This is Tom Blair with Inside Colorado Wrestling, doing another interview with the high school coaches from around Colorado. Today's guest is Cole Zempel, the wrestling coach at the new high school in Wellington, Wellington HS Eagles. How's it doing, Cole?
Doing great. Excited to be here at camp today.
Let's give the people around Colorado and the wrestling community a little background on yourself, starting with your wrestling knowledge and skills and what you did in high school and college.
Yeah, I grew up wrestling at a young age in the state of Iowa, and then ultimately wrestled for the University of Northern Iowa. Graduated 2010 and moved out west, coached in Cheyenne for a few years, and then moved down here and been coaching ever since. And I've been coaching with Grid Athletics for the last 8 years with Bill Greenwood, and that's been a fun experience to travel around and coach with him. So just really excited to be here in Wellington. I think people, like you said, it's a new high school. They haven't had a high school since 60 or 62. People hopefully don't get mad at me about that, but it's been a little while since we've had a high school in this community, so the community's pretty fired up and excited to have high school sports here again.
Now the facility here at the high school is both a middle school and a high school.
Yeah.
So you'll be working with the high school team and the middle school team?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're doing a little bit of work with the middle school guys right now in the off season, and then we're still sorting out once we get into our official season. But yeah, I'll be focused on the high school for sure and do whatever I can to help and support the middle school team.
So being a new school, there's a lot of growing pains going to be going on, and also being a new head coach at the high school level. Some of your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's been a process. Just like you said, with it being a new school, on top of me being a new coach, just getting everyone on the same page and making sure we're doing things the right way, according to all the different layers of rules. But it's been good. We've gotten some morning workouts going already this summer, and we've had we don't have crazy numbers by any means, but it's been some very consistent kids coming in, and I think they're seeing the results. And we got this camp up and going, which was, again, just a learning process, just trying to figure out how to go through the paperwork side of things. That's the biggest adjustment for me being the head coach, is just checking the boxes and doing the paperwork.
Right, making sure you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially for that paperwork.
Yes.
You got about 70 kids here at the clinic.
Yeah.
I see you have Billy Greenwood, who's a multi-Fargo champion this year, both in Greco and freestyle.
Yeah.
And his brother Job, who is not only a state champ here in Colorado, but also a NCAA qualifier for Wyoming.
Yeah.
Those are two guys that you also help coach.
Yeah, I coached those guys when they were Billy when he was really, really little, and kind of coached him up through grit a little bit. The Greenwood boys just kind of coach themselves. They're pretty good with that stuff. But it's been fun. And then Brody Lamb's here as well, and he's wrestling at Shattern State right now. And so those three guys, I mean, those are three guys that are pretty core grit guys that I was able to. I had the honor of coaching, right? Again, they kind of coach themselves because they've been doing it a long time and they get it. So yeah, it's exciting to bring them back and be able to share them with now the Wellington program.
Right. With your inaugural season being 2022 and 23, what are you expecting for an outcome or a turnout for your kids here?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have pretty big numbers for being only a freshman and sophomores in our school for this first year. I keep talking to people, and we seem to be getting more and more kids, whether they've wrestled in the past or maybe they're brand new to wrestling, and I think we're going to be pushing 40-some, maybe more. I really do, as far as our numbers. And we're a little green as far as experience goes, but we got a lot of kids that are very, very coachable and athletic. I've been surprised how many big kids we have for freshmen, sophomores. And so I think, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think we'll be competitive by the end of the year. It's going to take some time. We're a little green, but it's going to be a fun season with these guys with how coachable they are.
What classification are you guys in?
We'll be in 3A, so we'll be in the Patriot League with Eaton and Valley and Brush, a lot of the big names of 3A wrestling, so it'll be fun.
You're going to hit those guys running and try to take them down right off the bat, huh?
Yeah, that's always the goal, right? I don't want to, again, I'm not trying to speak out of turn, but if you're not trying to win, then, that's a piece of competing. So we're gonna do everything we can to get these guys to believe in themselves and believe in their believe in their talent to go take down the best guys in the state, because that's where we want to be.
Right. Understanding that you're not going to do this by yourself, what do you have for a coaching staff?
Yeah, right now we have I guess I don't know if we've officially titled him this, but a head assistant will be Andy Altschwager. He's a Wisconsin native, wrestled through high school at a pretty high level out there, and he's been helping coach the middle school program the last couple of years, and people recommended him. I honestly didn't know him up until now, and he's been all in, man. I couldn't ask for a better guy to start a program with. He's been here every morning with us, and anytime I ask, he's here, so it's been absolutely awesome. And then we also have Ben Drysdale. He's, him and his family are pretty well known here in the northern Colorado region, and I think he's going to be a great asset for our guys on a wrestling level as well. So,
okay. What is your schedule going to look like?
Yeah,
other than the Patriot League and hitting those tough teams you've mentioned before, what are you going to hit for tournaments?
Yeah, so for tournaments, we're gonna kick it off pretty tough. We're headed down to Pueblo East for their tournament. That's I think the second weekend of the season. We're trying to host our own dual tournament. Still working on that. So if anyone's looking for a small dual tournament, we have some openings that we're trying to fill for that. But yeah, so that second weekend we'll hit Pueblo East, and then we'll go to the Christmas Classic as well right before we go on break. And then we come out, and I'm trying to remember the very first one. I know we hit the Wiggins invite, Fairview duels, and then there's one more in there I'm forgetting. But we have the Patriot League tournament. That'll be a first. They haven't had that at least the last few years. So we'll actually have a league tournament, which will, again, like I said, will be a tough tournament, good test before we hit regionals and state.
All right. So what do you do for work? I understand that you don't work in the school, but going to be spending a lot of time here.
Yeah, so I work for the Fort Collins Police Department, and I'm actually a school resource officer. So I'm in a middle school down in Fort Collins at Lesher Middle School, and so I'm working with kids all day, and hopefully I'll leave work and get up here as fast as I can to get practices going.
Without speeding?
Yeah, without speeding. Yeah, no speeding. Cops don't speed ever.
So you're going to draw on the knowledge from some of the people in the town. There have been some very good wrestlers that lived here in Wellington, went to Poudre, went to Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
You mentioned in talking that you may get Ken Taylor over here to help out a little.
Yeah. My big goal is, we're starting to establish kind of our full-time staff, and then talking to a lot of former wrestlers, a lot of guys that I coached through club and through high school, trying to get them kind of tied in with us, because I know, there's guys out there like Danny Murphy. I know he's busy doing some things, but eventually I'd love if he moves back to our community. I want him. If he's going to help somebody, I want him here at Wellington. So trying to do that the best I can. I've already reached out to Jacob Greenwood and things like that. So when he officially moves into, I'll say, adulthood, he's already an adult. He's been an adult for a long time. But I mean, as far as once he figures out where they're living and staying, if it's somewhere around here, I want those guys a part of our program. And I'm as competitive as anybody. So if I've got a connection with you and I know you're really tough and really good and can bring quality things to our room, right? It's not just the wrestling piece, but helping grow these athletes into mature adults. And those are things I'm looking for. Ken Taylor has offered to help us out on occasion, just to kind of step in our room and provide someone outside the room to kind of look and go, hey, a lot of your kids are missing this or missing that. And that's the stuff I'm looking for.
All right. You can bring in some of your fellow wrestlers from college here to help out or to do a clinic or so?
Yeah, I would love to. Eventually get some of those guys out here, some of my Northern Iowa ties. I'd love to get some of those guys here. Brian Beats and I, the Ponderosa coach, we've had some friendly banter back and forth already, even though, they're one of the top teams in 5A, and so they're one of the standards as far as competition level. So yeah, I told them we're coming for him.
If Beach gets under your skin a little, just say, hey, I remember a season you guys went 0-7 in the finals. So.
Oh, yeah, we bring up some stuff. We try to avoid that one a little bit. That's a hard
hit one on him. I picked on him on one of my interviews with him, and so, yeah, I know Beach pretty good.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. So, yeah, I've been leaning on him too. He's a fairly new head coach, and I was just like, hey, what do I need to learn fastest kind of thing. So that's been good.
Well, good. Well, congratulations on the position here as the new head coach at Wellington High School, home of the Eagles.
Yes.
I wish you good luck, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.